Good afternoon, all. Camelback Trading 2724 coming to you this Thursday afternoon, April 2nd. We're looking at the market profile of the SPY ETF here on Window Trader. And a day that started resembling yesterday and possibly was looking at negative connotations for the bulls turns out to be the opposite. As after rallying like yesterday and then coming in, they tried the same thing today, but the big difference, and this is a huge difference. Number one, the indices were down yesterday, and we had lower value all day. Today, value was overlapping a higher most of the day. Huge factor. And the indices gave back everything at one point here in J period, only to finish at their highs. We missed going out with a price probe, but a nice run by M period to end the day. Volume again. Today, 168 million with the after hour. So again, we're only going to do about 175. Now again, this is good volume, but it's nothing like the type of volume we had. It's only one part of the equation. The more important part of the equation for me is what transpired today. And if we scroll over, right, here's the bottom of the 4-day balance, right? I've been saying this. They couldn't get through the top of it. We got there 4 times. We got through the bottom of it yesterday on a gap and closed below it. And then today we battled in and out of it. We battled in and out of yesterday's range most of the day. And after taking it out early and then coming down here in J, right, you look above a previous high and you fail. Generally, the other extreme is your destination. Well, we almost got there. But again, we didn't because I believe of the things I said. We had overlapping of higher value and all the indices were higher. So I think that certainly helped. We chipped away at the gap again. It's still fairly large, but we took back a bunch yesterday and more today, and we're inside the 4-day balance. We stopped one time framing down after one day. We're back in balance. So kudos to the bulls to put a stop to the bleeding after really only one day. Now we'll see if they have what it takes to close this gap tomorrow and get firmly into the balance and get to the top of it. I had a good day today. As far as opportunities go, A period. Now the price probe, A period became very fluid. Now when I did my video this morning, and even when I gave out on Twitter what I thought was going to happen, we came in tremendous amount. That's why at some point I'm still thinking about it, working on it to do live streaming on my trading. Something I would like to do because after I did the video this morning, the game plan changed dramatically within 40 minutes. As we opened right around the price probe, which was still rejected, the price probe was rejected, we shot straight up, and we shot up with such poor structure that I had to take a couple of short plays because the odds of that structure being repaired was good. And it repaired all of it and more. So 2 short plays in A turned out very nicely as that drive up with the poor structure got repaired. It happens many times. Then in B period, we started one time framing up. We were above A a good part. We got above the afternoon rally high from yesterday. And more importantly for me, we were above and into the balance, the bottom of the balance in the 4 days. So I got long in B. I was holding it. It actually came in. I scalped it a couple of times. And then at one point, scalped it. It came in below A, got long. And then C open, exploded with single prints. And by the time I could even react, I was selling the balance of my position all the way up here. So it turned out to be an excellent trade. So we had a chance for a trend day up. We actually had 2 sets of single prints, one here and another one higher. Both got filled, so the trend day up failed. I did another long in D when we came down before we filled. We had the other single prints in D period. So before they got filled, got long again, rode it back up. That was a nice trade. Now, G period. Once we filled the singles, even though we were one time framing up, D and E and F could not get to the high. So when G started and couldn't take out the high, I got short right around D and E's high. It came in, took out F's low, but didn't get the acceleration at all that I thought it would get. So it was a decent trade. I took some off, put some back on. But then when we got right back up again and got above it, I had small left. I just took it off. I was like, I thought buyers weren't getting a lot up here, right? They weren't getting a lot. Even though we still had to set a single prints, I was looking for an inventory adjustment. And I thought when G took out F's low, we would get it. Well, when it kept coming back up G, I finally said, put it to bed. I still made money on it, but put it to bed. And lo and behold, H takes out G's high. I'm like, well, that was a good thing I covered the short. And then look what happened. Couldn't get above F, came down, took out G, and there was your flush out. So I had the right idea. I did not get on board with a short. I actually got long in H period and scalped it a couple of times as it went back up. Once it got all the way back down, we filled the singles, got long, did a scalp play. And then I did nothing. I, J, K, or L. M, I don't like trading M, but today it came down, especially it took out L's low. I wasn't crazy. Came back up, came back in again, but the indices were strong. I thought, again, that 350 algo, I mean, it's going to move the market one way or the other pretty strong. And I really thought it would be the upside. I took a decent-sized call position somewhere right around the park. The 350 algo came, and again, my machine froze, had to go to my other machine. I was out. It was up $1, the option. It was a beautiful play. I don't like taking them all the time. Sometimes if I have a strong feeling what I think the 350 algo will do, I will take them. If not, I will stay away from it. So it turned out to be a good day. I think the Bulls, pretty nice finish today. We'll see if they can continue it tomorrow. For our destinations, for the upside, we have today's high of 252.68. And then filling the gap at 256.22. So it's still 354 points, right? We took 134 points off it. It's still rather large. So there is still work to do. You know, gaps that big are not going to get filled the first time. Well, you can say yesterday was the first time because it's not like we opened and drove straight down. We opened and actually went up and took some of the gap back and then again took back more today. So they're chipping away at it. Above that, if they fill it, 257.94 price spike from March 31st. 259.94 9 wide from March 31st, 260.64 afternoon rally high from that same day, and then 263.33 daily high and the top of that 4-day balance. For the downside, we were 9 wide at 248.88. And J, afternoon pullback low, 245.93. I was not that confident in this afternoon pullback low. That's why I didn't buy it there. I told you I went long in H, did a trade, but then I came down, J came down. Now, I said this on Twitter. I said it in my Slack channel. It could be a replay of yesterday, the way we did it, but I thought the odds were a lot less because of where value was. Shows you how important that market-generated information is. And lo and behold, it held. I didn't take a trade, but it's good to see the market-generated information work. So that's your downside destination. Then today's low of 244.59. Yesterday's low of 243.90. And then a daily low of 239.75. And then let's go to the chart. Weekly, again, it's in balance. So 1 day left to go in the week. We'll see if we could stay off the lows of the week. And then again, attack the top. We are one time framing up 2 weeks, but I'm still calling it balance based on where we are. If we end up coming up and taking out last week's high and closing above it, then I'll call it up, one time framing up. Again, trading and markets it's an art. It's not a science. It's not 1 + 1 = 2. Everybody's balances are going to be different. Everybody's reference points. So for a while now, whoever's been following me, you see how I operate and give out the information and why I give it out the way I do. And then on the daily, so yesterday I called it down after basically being balanced. Today we took out yesterday's high, so now it's a balance. I'll call it a 2-day balance, even though we got into this 4-day one. To me, it's still just a 2-day balance, but it's certainly important to get back and stay in here, right? If you fill this gap, then the odds of testing those 4 highs again are very good, and there is a void above them. If you can't fill this gap, well, then you're going to probably fall back out of below the 249.05 level and then test yesterday's low. All right, that's how these things work. It's pretty visual. So again, a good day. Would like to see the volume pick up, especially on the upside if you're a bull. But a good day overall. Again, here's your death cross. Since we had the death cross, again, I don't believe the low on that day when we crossed was 251.05. So we got as low as 243.90 yesterday, and today we closed at 252.68. So since we crossed there, we're basically neutral. Again, by the time these things happen, the moves already happened, obviously. I only look at them because other people do. I put zero weight into them, though. I hope you had a good day trading. Have a great night, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.